Okay, our first question is, when did you first realize that your child may have a disability?
I noticed when they were a baby that there was something off, but when they were 2 years old, just the language development was not there.
Okay.
And I had been told by my pediatrician that, boys take longer to develop than girls do, so sometimes language is delayed. But there was this one day I was at a park, and I saw these 2 little boys having a full conversation. And I asked their parents how old they were, and they told me that they were 2. And at that point, I realized, no, this isn't just me being worried that he's developing at his own pace. This is not developmentally where they're supposed to be.
So the language.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Our second question is, what was your initial reaction to finding out?
I was honestly relieved to have a name to put for what I thought all these odd behaviors were.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't just language, it was also difficulty separating, difficulty with change of routine, obsessing over certain TV shows and games. So my first reaction after initially being very sad and just, a part of you kind of mourns the child that you thought you would have. After that, I just became really committed to trying to find ways to help get my son where he needed to be, to get the language on track, to get the social skills, joint attention, all of those different things to where they needed to be.
Okay. How'd you find out your rights regarding your child's education?
A couple of different ways. Once after that day at the park, I reached out to my pediatrician and got the name of a child psychiatrist. I also took my child to a pediatric development center, actually 2 of them, one at Rush University, one at Illinois Masonic.
Okay.
So I found out more about my rights through the pediatric development centers.
Yeah.
And I also actually reached out to an education lawyer to find out my rights that way as well.
Okay. And how have your interactions with school personnel been?
Interactions with school they're complicated. They're complicated in a couple of ways. It's difficult in that the school, you don't want any of your interactions to negatively impact your child. You don't want ever your feelings to come across as critical and then there's negative repercussions for your child.
Yeah. So
it's difficult, especially when you have a child who has autism, changing teachers every year, getting your child used to that. But I would say for the most part, they've been positive. I've tried to contribute to the school in ways that I can. I work, but I try to volunteer for field trips and all of those, and just to be involved at sending a ton of school supplies. So I try to do things to make, to contribute positively so that when I do have concerns, it's like I'm helping out in the school. I'm giving them compliments whenever they're helping my son. Yeah. So I would say for the most part, they've been positive.
So a good relationship, building that.
Okay. But there have been years where my son has had, in my opinion, stronger teachers than in other years, or teachers that just were more, just seemed to be more interested in working with a child with autism than other years. But I think that's just kind of par for the course in a district like Chicago Public Schools. Right.
So are there any words of support you could give to parents while they go into an adventure of an individual education plan?
I would definitely say to... it's hard because I'm still figuring it out. But I think I would say try to make sure that you're keeping all of the stakeholders, all of the players that you use to support your child outside of the school. Make sure that they're all a part of making the plan in the school. Okay. Get second opinions, seek out additional supports outside of the school. And when it comes time to have the meeting, make sure that they're a part of it too. Yeah. So that there's cohesion between the people that you have on, the private sector of your child's education, working with the people in the school as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
No problem.